everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kate. This is my 3rd grade classroom, and today is going to be a classroom management tip for you, all about how to get kids to walk in line properly. So I hear from people all the time, my kids are always talking, they don't walk in a straight line, they won't listen to me. So this is the video for you guys. I'm gonna teach you all of my kind of tips and tricks. And if you happen to know a teacher that is struggling with this, then please share this video with them. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, hit that little subscribe button down below and let's get started. So the very first thing that we need to do is we need to lay down that groundwork. So what this means is that you're going to have a conversation with your students and you're going to talk to them about the importance of walking in line properly and why it's important to you. You're going to set your expectations and you're just going to have a really important discussion with your students. Now, one thing that I always like to bring up is that the faster they line up, the faster they get ready, the faster they go out to recess. So it has kind of sort of become like a little game, like, are we first? Are we first? So that is something that definitely is a carrot for the kids. Getting out first to recess, to lunch, to the end of the day, all of those things are an incentive for them. More importantly is that they need to understand the why that they're doing it. Yes, there are the incentives, and that's kind of a good place to start, but why are they doing it, right? Because it's expected, it's part of our school culture, it's what our classroom teacher expects, whatever it may be. The other thing that you're gonna need to do at this point is to let the kids practice. They're not gonna get it right on the first try. They might not even get it right on the 100th try, but you need to stick to your guns and you need to keep practicing. And when they don't do what's expected, then they have to try again. And that still even happens now. I mean, we've been in school forever, like forever, 4 months, and oftentimes, you know, I will say, nope, you need to go sit back down. So it does still happen, but you have to stick to your guns so that they know that you are serious. Okay, so the second thing is actually having the students line up. Sometimes I'll just tell my students to go line up. Sometimes I will give them a task to do before they can line up. So I may say, I want your desk organized, or I need the supplies put away, or I want you to pick up 5 pieces of trash. Or sometimes I'll just say line up. The way that I do it in my room, I don't have room for one huge long line, so I separate into 2 lines. So I have 1 to 14 on one side and 15 to 28 on the other side. I have 2 line leaders, and we'll talk about them in a minute. And basically, I allow my kids to choose where they want to be in line as long as they are making a good choice. Sometimes I'll have students who cannot be next to each other for whatever reason, and I will literally just say the word separate and one will move somewhere else. So that works really, really well for me. So as the kids are lining up, I'll stay at my desk and I'll either answer emails, or I might grade papers, or I might answer a text that I need to answer, whatever it may be, and I just do my own personal thing. You're gonna hear in the background like the kids are kind of chattering, but eventually they start to see like, oh hey, our teacher hasn't come over to the door yet. We are not allowed to go to recess until she takes us out. So all of a sudden you hear the chatter getting like shorter, smaller and smaller, and then you have 2 quiet lines. I will not walk over to where my students are until it's quiet. Once it's quiet, I'll walk over, I'll ask my line leaders who won. My 2 line leaders always do rock, paper, scissors. The winning line will start to walk out, and the following line, the line that didn't win, they will follow behind the last person in the line that went out first. Okay, so they do that. Now, one thing that I'll do is if I notice that the kids are really struggling to quiet down, and I happen to see a student who is quiet in line, I will tell them, I'll call out their name and I say, you can walk down on your own. I remind them though that if I call their name and I find out that they ran, that I won't be calling their name anytime soon in the future. This works wonders because a lot of the kids will see like, oh, whoa, that kid got called and they get to go. Okay, if I'm quiet too, maybe I'll get called as well. So at this point, I start to walk my students out. We will eventually be in a single file line, and my classroom is right by the steps. So I'm pretty fortunate in that sense, but wherever you may be, I would pick a certain spot to walk to and then stop. And then what I do is I turn around, and my kids give me a thumbs up when my door is closed. And as we're waiting for the door to close, I'll watch who is in line doing a nice job, and I'll call their name, and then they get to walk out on their own as well. So randomly, as I'm walking, I'll stop, look to see who's doing a good job, call that person to walk out on their own. When I do that, it reminds the students, this is my teacher's expectation. This is what I need to do. This is what is expected of me as a student. And you will find that they do a really nice job. So those are some of my like tried and true tips to getting kids to walk in line. And it is a lot of work. You do have to be on them. And oftentimes when we are coming back from recess, if I see a kid doing something really well, I might incentivize it for them and give them a sticker on their incentive chart, or I might give some table points, or I might just praise them in front of everyone, like, wow, blank, you're doing amazing. And the smile on their face, oftentimes kids just want to be recognized for that they're doing right. They don't always have to have something in return. They just kind of like to be recognized for that they did something right. So that works wonders. I always have one of the best lines. I kind of pride myself on that. And it's really, really easy. When the kids understand your expectations and they understand that it's beneficial also for them, they will fall in line pretty quickly. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that you get a better sense of how I get kids to walk in line. If you try this out, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know how it's going for you. If you are struggling with any part of it, you can ask a question down below. I'll do my best to respond. And if you think this would be beneficial for another teacher, make sure that you share it with them. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're here, and I will see you very soon.
I like your style.
Well, thank you.